Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video, I'll be demonstrating or showcasing how to perform a directory brute forcing or directory enumeration. But before we go to the lab environment, I will quickly walk you through some of the theoretical aspects of directory brute forcing, the tools and technique, and how to perform a directory brute forcing. So by the end of this video, you should be able to independently perform a directory brute forcing or directory enumeration. All right, let's begin. All right, welcome to the slide. In this slide, I will be giving a high-level overview of what directory brute forcing is. So, what is directory brute forcing? Directory brute forcing is a method used in web application security to discover hidden directories and files on a web server. Attacker or security testers use automated tool to send a large number of requests to a server, attempting to access various paths that may not be publicly listed. The goal is to find sensitive information such as configuration files, backup files, or administrative interfaces that may be exposed unintentionally. Common tools for directory brute force include, and not limited to these tools listed here. Of course, there are several tools that you can use to perform a directory brute forcing. So some of them are Dirbuster, Gobuster, Ffuf, Burpsuite, among others. These tools use word lists containing potential directory and file names. The techniques involved in performing a directory brute forcing is actually sending a large request to a web server with various potential paths and analyzing the server's response to identify valid directories or files, typically looking for the 200 or 300 OKs. So that is the overview of directory brute forcing. So the next step is actually to switch our lab environment to perform the practical demonstration. All right, see you in the lab environment. All right, guys, welcome to the lab or practical demonstration session of the course. In the practical demonstration session, I will be using different directory brute forcing tool. So I'll be using Ffuf Gobuster, Dirb, and Burpsuite. So we are going to begin with Gobuster. So first, what is Gobuster? Then let's quickly use the help menu of Gobuster and learn how to use it to perform directory brute forcing. So to do that, you type in the following command. As you can see, these are some of the available commands in Gobuster. For example, the dir is used for directory or file enumeration, which is what we are doing today. You can also enumerate a DNS subdomain with the DNS. You can force GCS, help, the S3, and some other things that you can do. We also have some flags on how to use them. So if we want to use a specific command, let's say because we are performing a directory brute forcing today, so what I will simply do is deb, we type in the what we are performing, which is directory enumeration, then help. Here are some command that is pertinent to directory enumeration. We have some flags, so I highly recommend you go through them. The ones that I will be using for this course is actually the URL string and the word list string as well. This is what we are going to be using in this video. So I recommend you go through the help menu and learn more about the Gobuster. So let's quickly perform a directory brute forcing with Gobuster. So according to the help menu, so you just type in Gobuster. Then what you are performing is directory enumeration. Then we'll give you the word list. In my case, I will be using a word list from sec list. Then is on this part, then it's on user share, then sec list. I think it's web content. No, it's discovery. Then web content. Directory listing. Now the URL string, you can use it like this or simply like this. So either way it will work. I will give you the target is Okay, the directory enumeration has started and it has successfully identified some directories like docs, external, config, vulnerability, and PHP my admin. And as you can see, it's just less than 7%. It still has, hopefully, it still has a lot of directory to discover. So right now, let's move on to the next tool. The next tool I'll be using is Ffuf. So let's quickly learn how to use Ffuf. I'll open a new tab. Then to use Ffuf, it's the same thing. You quickly type in this Ffuf-help as well. Now this is the help menu of Ffuf. As you can see, the name of Ffuf is Force Faster. You can complete it if you're interested. Anyway, here are some of the options you can use when it comes to Ffuf. You can see there are a lot of options. So for me, what I'll be using is this -fc, which is to filter a specific HTTP status code. And the next one I'll also be using is the -w for word list, and I think the -u as well. I can't find it. Hopefully we'll find it in the example. Here there are some example usage of Ffuf. This is exactly what I'll be performing this Ffuf. I'll give you the word list and the host or the target -u for the target. So let's quickly get our hands dirty with Ffuf. So to do that, I'll simply type in Ffuf. Then I'll give you the word list, which is same word list. Directory, let's see. Let's go with the big. Then the host or the target. Then in here, we'll give it the keyword false. Then I'll be filtering the status code for a more cleaner output. So I'll filter the 400s and the 500. Hopefully we identify a hidden directory. It has started. Same, it was able to identify docs as well, external, config, and vulnerability. Okay, it also identified a PHP my admin directory. Again, the reason why I like Ffuf is that, in my opinion, Ffuf is a very fast forcing tool. As you can see, the request is going faster. Now, Ffuf was able to identify almost the same directory as Gobuster. Anyway, the last CLI tool I'll be using in this course is going to be Dirb. So let's see how to use Dirb. Then we'll move straight to the Burpsuite session of how to use Burpsuite to perform a directory brute forcing as well. So the next one I'll be using now is Dirb. Okay, let's use Dirb. I'll open a new directory, or let me stop the attack and use Dirb as well. So to use Dirb, just use Dirb and give it the target. So Dirb will automatically use a word list called common.txt. So let's use that. And the target is HTTP. As you can see, it automatically uses a word list called the common.txt. And indeed, Dirb did identify some directories. with the word list, it was able to identify the entries, and there's a lot of directory we didn't identify with other parsing tools that it was able to identify. This is really, really interesting, like the server info. This is really interesting. And there's a very interesting thing about Dirb, that it automatically identify a directory that has a directory listing enabled. Like for example, the config has a directory listing enabled, which means that we can access the directories, access this config, and able to find some information. So let's quickly do that. I'll open the link. Let's wait for the link to open. As you can see, you have a directory listing enabled, and this is also a sensitive information leakage, like telling us the version of the Apache and what the version of the PHP and the rest. This is a huge vulnerability. All right, there are a lot of directory that has directory listing enabled, so this is a very useful feature in Dirb. It's really, really interesting, and it was able to identify a lot of directories, and again, a lot of 403s. All right, the next step is to use Burpsuite. All right, now we are about to perform a directory brute forcing with Burpsuite. So we are going to be using Burpsuite to try and perform a directory enumeration. I will use Burp default, yes. We'll wait for Burpsuite to start up. Alright, welcome to Burpsuite Community Edition. Alright, the next step is to set the target and scope if you are interested, but in this case I will not be setting the target and scope. So I'll move straight to the proxy tab, and in the proxy tab I will be using the Burpsuite inbuilt browser, which is the Chromium browser. So to do that, I will quickly click on Open Browser tab. It will open with pre-configured Burpsuite browser. So in here, I will type in my target or the URL. Okay, hit enter. Then I'm going to log in. The username is admin, the password is password. Then you're going to hit login. We are going to browse around a bit. Then, alright, then we'll go back to our Burpsuite. Then let's go to the target and the sitemap. By default, it is going to automatically identify some directories. As we can see, it automatically identified the about.php. We have index.php. We also have the login.php. And as you can see, it was able to show our username and password we use to log in. The username is admin, the password is password, because the protocol we use is HTTP, and we all know HTTP is a clear text protocol. So that's why we are able to see our login credentials. So the next step is to actually perform a directory brute forcing, because that's the reason why we are here. So I will send this to intruder. Then in this intruder, I will simply say, to keep it simple, we are performing a directory brute forcing, so I will say there. Then I will add it. Then the attack type, I will be using sniper. Then the payload, we are using a simple payload list. And the word list, I will not be using a word list. I will add it myself. I'll manually add it, because we are using a Burpsuite community edition. The intruder is throttled, so we don't have the full capabilities to use intruder. So what I will be doing, I will be giving it some of the word list in the web servers and adding a random directories. So let's give it some directories we already know on the server, like docs, which PHP my admin. We have the external. These are all directories on the server. We also have, if I can remember, vulnerabilities. And which other ones do we have? I can't really remember, but now let's add some directories that we know are not on the server. So let's say password, users, let's say credentials, and let's say secret. Okay, these are some of the word lists, some of the directories we are going to test for. And the next thing, I will go to the settings, and the redirection, I will make it always. Now I'm going to start attack. Okay, it's telling us that the community edition of Burpsuite contains a demo version of Burp Intruder. Some functionality is disabled and attack are time throttled, so which means we cannot use the full capabilities of Burpsuite. So if you don't have the Burpsuite license, so I can say that it is convenient to use a tool like Ffuf and Gobuster in this type of attack. So anyway, I really wanted to showcase how to use Burpsuite for directory brute forcing. So in the status code, we got 200, which means that it is on the server. Yes, we got it 200. Okay. Also, same thing with PHP. PHP my admin is also on the server. Now, password, we are getting a different response. We are getting a 404 not found, which means a directory called password is not on the server. Same as user, it's not on the server, not found. Credential is not found, and so secret is not found. So this is how to perform a directory brute forcing or directory enumeration with Burpsuite. If you have the pro version, you also have the possibility of loading word list directory from the intruders here. As you can see, load list. Alright, that is the end of today's video. And again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe, like, comment, and see you next time. Bye.